me tonight. No negativity in my life.
Hi there, and welcome to the Home Base Podcast, courtesy of Base Solutions, Chicagoland's premier distributor of York HVAC equipment. My name is Alex Dahlia. I'm actually our Base Solutions head of marketing and communications, as well as business development here in the Chicagoland market. And I am here today really just to welcome you and give you guys another little piece of the puzzle here, just in regards to the HVAC marketplace and the spectrum of opportunities that are out there for us to work with you and your team here as a private HVAC distributor of choice. So looking forward to topics of conversation today. Obviously, this is our first episode here, so looking to really kick things off here and really just kind of get your feedback and just kind of see the direction of where we're looking to go here with the podcast here today. If you like this format, if you like the opportunity to just kind of hear this out on your way to and from each job site, taking in each one of our specials that we have here on the go, and just looking forward to really partnering with you guys for those best solutions for you guys have in the marketplace. So as we kind of wrap up here for the work week, it is Friday, September 4th. We are looking at pretty favorable weather this weekend, upwards of 80 degrees in terms of temperature, but we are starting to see it start to taper off. You know, as in Chicago, we understand we're, the HVAC marketplace, you get about 4 good months of summer here before that cold weather starts to hit us, but really have a good opportunity for us to really still get our feet in the ground, get dirty, and just start winning some extra jobs here on the back end of the spectrum. But today's podcast is really just going to kick things off here today, kind of give you guys a little introduction about us, a little bit of the history, kind of where we're coming from, where we're at here now, and then the opportunity to kind of work with us here for the future. Topic of conversation today, option selling. Going to get into a little bit of a higher level overview of that, some of the statistics behind it, and more or less what that means for you and your team when you're sitting down with Mrs. Smith at the kitchen table there. So have a chance to really kind of kick things off here today. I want to really just kind of represent you guys here and kind of give you an understanding of kind of where Base Solutions has been here over the last year. As of last July, we were actually sold off from the York Factory Directs channel to Base Solutions and Windy City Reps, Windy City Ventures, and affiliated parts and distribution. So pretty strong purchasing and buying power underneath that umbrella of giving you guys good equipment at a great price, and giving you guys the service and solutions that you need without really having to get around all that corporate red tape anymore. I've seen everything from the up and up. I'm still a little wet behind the ears here, though, when it comes down to the HVAC world. I've got about 4 years of experience here myself, but really kind of knowing and understanding kind of how Base Solutions as a private distributor in the Chicago marketplace can really help you and your team out across the board. Our team really is kind of looking to grow the residential and commercial standpoint here within the Chicago marketplace, but hiring like crazy, growing the team left and right, 2 new territory managers within the Chicago marketplace for North and South Chicago, as well as a commercial sales territory manager there as well. So we're really expanding our repertoire of what we have underneath the sun here and looking to really help you guys out and bring that full circle. But in order to do that, we have our specials here for fall. We are falling into savings here with our 6 area locations between Elmhurst, Aurora, Elgin, Tinley Park, Vernon Hills, and Hobart. And you can reach any one of these store locations just by giving us a call or shooting us a text at 630-758-1580. And I repeat, you can shoot us a call or text. That's pictures. If you're on a job site, you're looking at a rooftop, a model tag, you need to get a specific part for that unit. You're not sure what part is which. Take a picture of it, text it into us. We got you guys covered there on the back end. So really looking to help you guys out across the board as we fall into savings here. And as we fall into savings, one of the biggest things that I love about fall is the baseball season typically is wrapping up. I played baseball, all throughout high school, had an opportunity to play in college. And it really, kind of fell in line with me to kind of pair this up with a promotion here for the fall for our furnace promotion. So whether you're hitting singles, doubles, triples, or home runs, based upon the buying threshold of whatever furnaces that you're purchasing from us, we'll give you up to $400 additional off of your purchase just for bundling up those packages here as of today, starting with 4 units all the way up to 10 plus. As well as our york.com/friends and family promotion is also kicking in there on the back end right now. You guys will be able to take advantage of that as well. So we're offering that all across the board for those furnace promotions until September 30th. You guys have a lot of chances to really just kind of represent your customers in the right areas. I know we're starting to taper off, getting towards that fall weather here. I know, the pumpkin beers and pumpkin spice lattes are coming out. So just looking for a chance for us to still just kind of get in with the homeowners, but really kind of replace those systems as needed and give you guys, good systems at a great price there too. All our York equipment does come with a 10-year parts and 1-year labor guarantee out of the box. They're manufactured in Wichita, Kansas. And yes, we do have the equipment on hand and in stock. So looking to support you guys there across the board. Even further with some service parts specials that we have going on right now. We want to cover your bases across the board here, just with your parts. And it's anything under the sun for our additional purchasing thresholds. Anything from $700 qualifies you for a 3% discount, and up to $7,500 in additional service parts and pieces. You guys will get up to an additional 7% discount all the way until February 28th. So we're going to support you guys with this discount threshold. Come in the doors, come meet us at any one of our 6 area locations, and we're there to give you guys that discount all the way through the 28th of September. And then if you are purchasing, we will include up to 30 days delayed billing there for you too as well. Qualifying parts underneath those thresholds include DeWalt parts and tools, Klein Tools, Modine, New Calgon. Oh my gosh, big points from New Calgon recently with their information just in regards to the coronavirus, being able to take it out in a testing facility with their bi-ionization products with the iWaves, fantastic. Anything from Yellow Jacket, Navac pumps, any Source One service parts, Honeywell thermostats, White Rogers, and anything else across the board in the qualifying categories. But that is not all. We are also additionally going to be including up to each purchasing threshold a Yeti qualifying product of choice. That would be at the $1,500 threshold, the Yeti Rambler, which is perfect for keeping those hot drinks hot and those cold drinks cold all the way across the seasons. And then all the way up to the $7,500 threshold, you guys can take a Yeti Call, a Yeti Roadie 24, and then a Yeti tumbler there as well. So we're going to be including everything for you. Perfect early Christmas gift for you guys, or keep it for yourself as we kind of taper into, the winter season. You'll be able to knock those out maybe on some vacations with us here. If you are a partner with us here at Base Solutions, or coming up here next summer. So have any questions about that? I'm going to link each one of our invoices here below, or each one of the, advertisements here below for you guys. So you guys can really just take a look and kind of sink your teeth into this just a little bit further. Specific thresholds, buying thresholds do apply. It does qualify just depending upon each part's purchase. So we're here to support you guys across the board. I'm looking to really support you guys all the way until we get through the shoulder season here. And now, topic of conversation today, option selling, really key and really crucial right now for a couple of reasons. Being obviously the fact, with the climate it is right now. I mean, we're in COVID-19. I'm sitting here in the middle of downtown. And what we're kind of focusing on here right now is the commercial and the maintenance side of the business. Everything seems to be kind of tapering off a little bit. Some businesses are in play. A lot of small business like ourselves are really striving for, that next threshold for ourselves as a business. But what are we going to do with all these high rises downtown? Everything from apartments with water source heat pumps to, giant chillers on these giant commercial buildings here downtown as well. How are we going to get in to maintain the service for that? Let alone, are there even people in there that are using the systems in order to make sure that, it needs that up and up service and support that you guys are offering on the commercial side? And let's even jump a step further, offering option selling techniques for homeowners, as things start to kind of taper into that winter season when, the furnaces are going to be necessary. I mean, we're anticipating a pretty good winter here as things kind of come up. We're shaping up with one of the best summers we've had in a while. And really just kind of trying to see how can we provide option solutions and selling to Mrs. Smith when we're sitting down at the kitchen table, and why would we do something like that? There are certain percentages that do correlate with buying thresholds and purchasing thresholds, and we get prices always a part of the conversation, but these options wouldn't exist if there wasn't customers out there supporting them, aligning with specific brands and supporting you guys across the threshold. Now we're going to have links below to at least set up some webinars and some trainings for you guys. So if you guys want to come in and learn a little bit more with our team at Base Solutions, our headquarters is in Elmhurst, 781 North Church Road. And we're looking really to support you guys across the board. So these numbers actually have some skin in the game with your customers within your respective markets. And every market is different. That's one of the biggest things I've learned in my time, whether it's between, the Tinley Park area or going down to Hobart, Indiana, or whether you're north in St. Charles or Batavia. We're starting to find that each market does take some of this information a little bit differently. Everyone has a budget, but when you can present this in a very easy, manageable threshold that are chunkable bites for a homeowner to really understand, you can present them with information and start earning net profit percentages that are much higher than your current thresholds that you guys are seeing right now. So it kind of kicked things off here with our 4 selections that we have. When you're looking at the buying thresholds, we have 4 choices that we typically like to offer when we're presenting the York system offerings or the base solution system offerings to consumers that are in the marketplace. And you want to focus on 4 categories: the Premier, which is your top choice; Chicagoland's choice, which is going to get you guys the highest net profit percentage across the board when you're doing your job costing, considering overhead, getting everything off your plate. The Select threshold, which is a step above your budget, which is the base option at 13 and 80% efficiency. Incorporating everything across the board here is very key because the statistics prove within the Chicago marketplace, if you offer 4 options, your top option and your base option, we picked anywhere from 10 to 15% of the time in each category. So that's taken out about 15 on each tier. Let's just call it round up. We'll say 30% across the board for everything in total sales. But that leaves you a huge gap in the middle for Chicagoland's choice and your Select option that are incorporating about 70 to 80% of the buying power. And the reason being is not just for price, for efficiency, for sound levels, as well as for the manufacturer's backing and support that they can give you there too. And when you're presenting this to Mrs. Smith at the kitchen table, say you find 2 or 3 major components on a system that's probably 12 to 15 years old, starting to go bad, this is an opportunity for you to really just kind of sink your teeth into a chance to work with Mrs. Smith of talking about that replacement conversation versus just going over the standard repairs that you would do. And it's nothing unethical about it. The full conversation comes down to allowing Mrs. Smith to make that choice and to do it ethically in a way that's going to allow her to give that buying power to herself and to Mr. Smith when they're, looking for something for full home comfort for the foreseeable future. Now, let's just kind of start with the different tiers here and what we're selecting here. Your top tier, probably a modulating furnace, full communicating system there across the board. And our York offerings are phenomenal about that with our affinity system, because not only do they give you that 10-year parts and 1-year labor guarantee, but it can be paired up with any additional thermostat that you have. Say Mrs. Smith is dying for an Ecobee thermostat or a Nest thermostat or a high-end Honeywell T9. I mean, any one of these is going to be a great fit. But when you're talking about having it pair and communicate and kind of mesh up, a lot of the competitors that are in the marketplace typically require their specific stat. And heaven forbid that thing goes wrong, or something goes bad with it in the time frame. Just being able to provide a thermostat that will work with that on any threshold is a nice plus with our affinity system. But before we get too far in the weeds, let's talk about sound levels. And what we incorporate within these higher tier products are enhancements like a swept wing fan blade to allow you to kind of minimize that airflow when it's on that fan blade there and the condenser. And then maybe little things like a condenser blanket there as well. And this pairs for, every piece of manufacturing equipment that's out there. But the top tier has to be presented because it is being selected 10 to 15% of the time. These are the statistics within the Chicago marketplace. And when you're polling against these numbers here, what you're going to start to find is Mrs. Smith will consider that option. But when you're starting to offer 3 additional tiers below that, pricing starts becoming a little bit less of a factor when you have that top tier threshold piece in place. And let alone if we're incorporating our Synchrony financials as a part of it, giving them a good low monthly payments on rates, as low as 0 for 60, and on terms as long as 11 years, if the homeowner really wants that budget factor to play a factor in the role, we can make that happen there for you. But our 3 other tiers below that are so crucial because they're going to allow you to not just make that net operating revenue percentage that you're looking for, in terms of gross profit on each one of these jobs, but you're going to be pulling in higher percentages. You're going to be winning the same number of customers. You're going to be growing and not overextending yourself when you're in the field there and working with your customer base. And you can grow your business in a manageable way that's going to work for you. So when we're looking at our base threshold here, everyone knows the 80% option with the 13th tier condenser will get you by. You're never going to have any problems with it. It's not going to be the loudest or the quietest piece of equipment that's on the market there. But it is important. It does hold a stable threshold because not only is this being selected 10 to 15% at a time if you offer 4 options, but this option here is going to be your cheapest. So you're going to find a lot of homeowners are going to gravitate towards this just because this is like that car repair that you have. You've got that check engine light that's on and it's like, you know what, I don't want to have to replace it, but if I have to, I have to. And a lot of times you're not going for the most expensive or the highest end option there, when you're hitting that car dealership as well. So this is a piece of the puzzle that has to be incorporated in order to impact those middle 2 options there as well, impacting your bottom net operating revenue percentages, your gross profit percentages there for the business, and just overall improving your enhancement and your scope of business here within the Chicago marketplace. And I guarantee you all those big box guys that you see that are out there pounding the streets regularly. I know there's a couple really big companies here in Chicago that really do this very well. And when they're looking at their P&Ls at the end of the year, they can see the impact that it makes on their bottom line offerings, which brings us into our 2 second categories here, right in the middle between Premier and Budget. We have Chicagoland's Choice, which we put stars all right next to, because it's going to give you a great piece of equipment at a great price, at a great efficiency. That's going to probably be, more than double what their current SEER rating is on their current system. But it's going to be extremely quiet, and especially in the suburbs when you're looking at, Mrs. Smith sitting on the back patio here, especially on Labor Day weekend, like right now, having a nice grill out with the family, bringing the neighbors over. The last thing you want to hear is that AC cutting on. So giving them an opportunity for that unit to just be able to run operationally efficient, as well as quiet, is going to be a great fit there. And then the select option just below that. If you're falling into these categories in the middle options here, you're going to be anywhere of a net operating percentage, a net revenue percentage of anywhere from, let's say, 6%, all the way up to, if you're in the Chicagoland's Choice, depending upon the market, you could get upwards of 16 for sure. And then when you're looking at your overhead at the end of the year, everything will start to kind of sync together. And when you have these options presented and you're falling in those middle two categories, 70 to 80% of the time, you're going to start seeing the fruits of your labor really start to pay off a little bit more. And we would be happy to educate you a little bit more on your options that work best for you and your team. Again, at Base Solutions, we're called Base Solutions and not Base Supply for a reason. This is a solution that's going to supply you guys with an opportunity to work with us on the back end to give you that support that you guys are really looking for, that align with your specific goals. It's not about us slapping down 18 different programs and saying, hey, we have all these programs that are going to make you guys more operationally efficient. It's about us sitting down with you guys, making your goals align with your strategies here for the future and allowing that to work for you guys for the foreseeable future. So if this is resonating with any of you out there, feel free and take a minute, reach out to me. I have my communication information at the bottom here. We'll have a link with our information for our website. Feel free and text us. We can have a territory manager reach out to you within your respective territories. Again, that number is 630-758-1580. Text us, call us, go to basesolutions.com. Would love to have this conversation just a little bit further with you guys if it makes sense, and kind of pick your brain as well as you maybe pick mine a little bit here as well. I love when we can sit down and kind of go over the different options of what's working for you in your respective territory, and kind of see maybe where Base Solutions can maybe plug in to help you guys be a good fit. So again, Base Solutions, we are here, Chicago's premier distributor of York HVAC equipment, private distribution channel here to serve your needs. Again, my name is Alex Dahlia. I am head of marketing, communications, and business development here at Base Solutions. I'm happy to take care of you guys on whatever you need on the back end for the foreseeable future. Just want to make sure you guys know we're out here for you at our 6 locations, and hopefully you guys have a safe and fun, happy Labor Day weekend. Again, guys, take care.